And hello, my fellow nerds. This is Oracle Nerd here, and welcome back once again to Starfallen Strength. So last time we finished spending time with everyone in Skyward, and today we'll be continuing the story from where we left off. Lightning dances along the faces of every guest at the dining table. Verona, Mercer, Dion, Petra, Colette, Zavi, Farron. Wait, wait, we actually get to see Mercer? Thunder cracks and booms. I hoot in laughter, not at Farron though, who bristles at the sound, reminding me poor weather isn't common in Anaterra. It's getting rough out there. Petra cracks a walnut, unfazed, unintentionally adding to his fear. We look at Merce. Oh yeah, right. We've seen Mercer before. I'm dumb. We look at Mercer, expecting him to help calm the poor fox, but his eyes are fixated on one of the windows, or rather, the outside. Clank. I, along with the rest of the table, jump at the piercing sound. Colette's hands cover her ears, eyes pressed closed as she endures with pained moans. Are you all right? the Duchess to be The Duchess to be doesn't answer, nearly falling out of her seat. Debbie catches her, trying to soothe her, locating the issue. Instinctively, I look at Verona, who's already setting down her utensils, catching Mercer's eye. What's going on? I direct at both issues presented. Mercer's brow deepens, approaching Colette, who's no longer shaking and whimpering. Was it the storm? Colette, what do you hear? She breathes deep and shallow breaths, her now surrounded by everyone. Something's coming. Now it's Petra's turn. What is? Her voice is sharp, is harsh, sharp, fearful. Stay alert. She's right. I can feel it. I understand your gift doesn't come with specifics, but what do I what do I think it is? He interrupts her, reading her mind. She nods to confirm. I caught but a glimpse in the lightning. He hesitates, looking off into the distance, like he had before. Much too long. Every second that passes, I grow colder from all the sweat forming. I've never seen him like this before. What did he see? A swarm. Colette, she heard it. How many voices? She winces, standing, gripping her head like she's covering from a migraine. Too many. Are they saying anything? Despite having white skin, she looks paler than before. I couldn't make it out. It was coming from everywhere in my head. The voices trampling over the other. Petra's equally colorless face doesn't help my nerves. Verona's even less. What are we to do? What can we do? We'll do what we can. I'll call everyone to the hall. Rona, have your men do the same. It's beyond me how he's able to speak so calmly. What what we can? I wonder the same. I wonder the same as my cousin. What are we missing? We have an entire army stationed here. Will it not be enough? Despite the controlled disposition, there's a lack of certainty. He's gone before any of us can ask more questions. I know we're losing time. Our world has fallen into a nightmare. One I cannot so much as process, as we're already dashing back into the hall. We're under attack, she says. Says it clearly, almost calm. No, not calm. In shock, her eyes give it away. My eyes bounce between Dion's and Colette's, looking to each other and back to me. For now, now for further explanation, one I cannot give them. Mercer returns, a couple of men following. Your orders, sir. Go see what's out there. Bring this group with you. I'll gather the men and join you there momentarily. We must be swift. Aye. Mercer beckons us as we blindly make our way out into the storm. Rain pours down my face. Strands of hair plaster against my skin in the dulge. I hear buzzing in my ears. I don't like that. We can hear it before we can make them out through the rain. A droning buzz. I look warily at Mercer as he stands on the ledge of the cliffside, up the winding trail of the mountain. There is a sea of darkness. Hundreds of clamoring soldiers march up together, not in unison, as they push and pull at each other, each eager for the hunt, for the kill. Dark shapes fly above, unbothered by the rain. Bestial in nature, too many legs, insectoid heads, monsters of a caliber I have not seen. I grip my sword, turning to face the gathering soldiers. Verona joins us and begins to speak, her voice managing to pierce through the dreadful drone of thunder. Listen closely. The enemy is of unknown origin, likely monstrous. I know the uneasiness of the men's stances now. Our objective is to protect Skyward. We'll take a post along the perimeter and seize entry. If there's any resistance, you put them down where they stand. Codex, the great below. Verona's eyes find mine, like she's passing a baton forged in the great below. I take it. Great Commander Verona, Dion, Colette, and I will take up the right side. Captain Petra? My group will protect the left. Myself, Mercer, Zavi, and Farron. You may choose to join either side, but make sure no one crosses our line of defense. The Skyward will not fall today. It's it's not a speech that I inspire much confidence. I have no time to do such a thing. What's important is that we make sense of the reality we found ourselves in and how we get out unscathed. I look back at my regiment. Dion fights my eyes, his jaw tight, but his eyes steely. I turn back around, drawing my blade and holding it aloft. At arms! The sight of cold metal fills the air as swords are unsheathed. It's a feeling that overcomes all of them, and that I can feel it too. We are the front line, the foolhardy who will charge at the battle and take out as many as we can to give everyone else a fighting chance. How many are afraid to die? I cannot be. Holding my sword towards the army, a crack of lightning flares above us. Charge! Feet pounding on the muddy grass, I light a fire in my hand, and the rain cannot put out. A single beacon in the darkness night as I rush towards the army. A barrage of arrows strikes into the carapaces of the monsters. Just as I arrive, I recognize the fletching of one of the arrows as Colette's. Just as the monster reels from an arrow strike, I finish off with a flourish of my blade to detach its head. I wade through the battle, sending a crackle of lightning, mimicking the sky above, piercing through them all. My blade spins, cracking the pommel against one of the sword, and the sword with the other. The monsters unnerve me with their movements, human-like in many ways, despite their wasp-like appearance. But the way they fight is primal. Sharp rows of teeth glint in the light of the fire as they lunge towards my arms. Sharp bust of pain takes hold as it rigs across my skin. Hot blood trickling down. I spin, knocking it to the ground with my full weight slanted to its neck with a sickening crunch. More and more begin to swarm, and the ones in flight too high to reach. Even as arrows rain down on them, it's not enough. One misses, landing beside me with a splash of rainwater. There's a yell as one of the soldiers arches. As one of my soldiers arcs. I see a point of a stinger right through his heart. He collapses in a heap as I rush towards the monster to return the favor. No! My mind screams, but I have little time to mourn. I glance back at the monster swarm, past my regiment, and towards the line of soldiers holding steady. There's a ringing in my ears. I can't seem to stop. The pitch black night feels like an oppressive shroud. Focusing for a moment, I allow the fire in my blade to spring to life. I stare into silver metal for a moment. The color drained from my face and the bloom of purple beneath my eyes. Buzzing at the approaching monsters quickly cuts through the fog in my mind as I steady myself. I have no inspiring words to rally the people, only orders to try and keep us from an early grave. Shields up! A row of shields of metal and wood forms a barricade, cutting the choke point along the path. How effective it will be against the winged beasts will remain to be seen. So long as we keep up the wall, we can drive them off. The sheer face of the mountain to scatter below. I sling a hefty shield over an arm, taking my place shoulder to shoulder in the wall. Spears out! The long spears poke through the gasps of the shields, forming holding firm to skewer anything that gets too close. My own sword is too short to make a difference, but I have another plan. I watch as Lennon leads her charge, a bright spot in the black as she is to buy his time. I draw my blade as an arc towards the gathered army. Archers, volley! A hail of arrows rains down on approaching monsters, peppering them with wounds, but more and more take their place. Swallowing hard, the rain falls in my eyes as I blink it away. I can hardly make out the skyward who have charged ahead, but the monsters are starting to break away from the ranks and come for us. No matter what happens, hold the line! They come in a rush, swarming towards us. I bring my shield up high to protect my face as claws rake against the metal. I brace myself on the muddy ground, slipping it for a moment, trying to push forward to press the shield against the creatures. The, one looms over the edge of the shield, its multi-section eyes glinting from the light of the fire, and it chitters, mandibles twitching as it lunges down for me. I duck my head and jam the sword straight up into its neck as it lets out a horrible screech, black blood, guts spilling out down in front of my armor. Pushing the shield back into place, I survey the battlefield. The monsters crash against the spears, burying themselves further along the shafts in the pursuit of their prey. Lennon's regiment is getting overrun, and they're spilling over our way. One of our shield soldiers is grabbed by a flying monster and yanked on the line. We shuffle, closing the ranks before they can break through, but they're starting to pick us off. Raise shields and spears! Eyes up! Back up! I shout orders, my voice getting lost in the chaos of battle. The buzz of wings gets closer as one tries to grab me, but finds itself in the end of my spear as a neighbor lunges forth. But that move cost us as the ones on the ground take the chance to grab her from the line, pushing her to the ground and tearing at her body. Shit! Close rank! I shout as I run forward, trying in vain to save her as I slice the monsters and bash another with my shield. She turns over, looking at me through the bloody face. Come, soldier. I grab her, trying to pull her back through the line, but the swarm is unrelenting. Seeing some of the warriors wavering, glancing nervously as the next wave continues to advance. Hold the line! Regretfully, I release the soldier as a light fades from her eyes, the wounds too much to bear. There's a flash of silver out in the corner of my eyes, and I see the recruit, Farron, has broken rank and slipped past. He tilts his head when he sees me, a cocky little grin as he twirls his dagger. Right hand, volley! Calling out, guiding another wave of arrows to cover the incoming flank. As Farron slips through, cutting down the monsters as he scampers up the higher cliffs, he's buying me just enough of a distraction. I close my eyes for a moment, feeling that pull of somewhere behind my navel. A steady breath, in and out, as the rain is relentless with the skittering droning grows closer. As the monsters approach, I draw upon my magic, a deep well. As another wave approaches, I lead them towards the cliff's edge. Just as they begin to swarm me, I call upon a gift. A passive pull of gravity yanks them towards me, sending them flying off the cliff's edge. One slams right into me. I had my shield to brace, but one of his pincers around my ankle and dragged me down with it. Grabbing the edge, my palms are slick with sweat as I try to clamber up to the top. I can't even hear the battle as I fight for my life. Glancing down, I kick as hard as I can, sending the monster 8 attached to me tumbling down the mountain. The rain blinds me, the darkness all-encompassing. My heart pounds through every part of my body. Every instinct screams in me to live. I draw my magic again, pulling myself this time to launch myself back to safety. Landing hard on the muddy ground, I pull myself, covered in blood, rainwater, and dirt, pushing off from a knee. I steel myself. The shield wall has held for now, but when I look out, I see hundreds more approaching along the mountainside. I wade through the thick battle, sword slicing against every monster I come across. I don't even notice the wounds I've sustained, rakes of claws and teeth and a stinger I pluck out of my shoulder with a grunt. The heat of battle makes me numb to any pain. Stumbling forward, ice coalesces around my fingertips as I fire the magic towards the incoming wave, freezing them in place as the other soldiers in my regiment take them down, driving my blade into the heart of one. I yank it out as it crumbles to my feet. Across from me, I see Dion driving his spear through the two monsters at once, ducking down as he lunges for them. I rush over to his side, covering his flank as we fight back to back for a moment. Having fought alongside him for so long, it comes so naturally as we take out the monsters together. For a moment, it looks as though the monsters are retreating as I see one flying away, but a chill runs down my spine as I understand what's happening. Look around the battlefield. The brave soldiers who come forth with me are dwindling. Bloody corpses cover a muddy ground, and creatures begin to drag them back down to the mountain. I take off into a run, chasing them down even as I hear shouting behind me to stop. I can't let them take our men. If they're dead, they deserve to have a funeral. If they're alive, then I have to save them. Carving through the swarm, there's a barrage of arrows striking each wasp where I can't. Over my shoulder, I see Colette with her bow drawn, focused on each shot. I should have known. Only she could be as accurate as another arrow pierces the eye of a monster about to bite me. With her help, I began to clear the way, my lungs burning as I catch up with the group, taking the bodies away. I point my blade towards them. Give them back! I don't wait for an answer as I go to strike, hoping beyond hope that someone in there will still be alive. 5 are on me at once. I feel a strike of a stinger in my adamant, doubling over, stealing stars. I nearly lose my grip on his sword. Instead, I lash out with a lightning strike that bounces between all of them. Above us, the same flash of lightning seems to mirror my magic, as if I'm controlling the sky itself. Pushing myself from my toes, I plunge the sword into the middle of the monsters as they shriek. Whoa! From behind me, another grabs my hair and starts yanking me upwards as I flail trying to swing it around to get at it. The amount of magic I've been using is draining me. Only a few sparks manage to ignite at my fingertips. Swinging back and forth, even as the hair rips out from my skull, I build up momentum to hold my sword backwards against my hip and catch the wasp with it. So it drops me, and I land hard in the mud, coughing it up. Swiping mud from my eyes, I crawl towards the fallen bodies, checking for any signs of life. One lets out a weak groan, eyelids twitching as I grab him by the ankles, dragging him back towards the other side of the battlefield. There's a buzzing in my left ear, just as I turn, a flash of red stands in front of me. Verona glances over her shoulder. Eyes up, Commander! She lunges with her short blade, giving me enough time to carry the soldier back to our line, kicking up mud to blind the wasps. Her strikes come with precision and no mercy. She grabs one by the back of the neck, crashing its skull against her knee. Bringing the dying soldier to the side, a combat medic rushes out to carry him back to the fortress. I saved one soldier. How many more are dead? What will that man even survive? I blink away the thought. It doesn't matter now. The only thing that matters is winning. Breathing hard, the pain of all my injuries finally starting to add up. I grip my sword, pushing myself to limp back to the battlefield. I stand back with the shield wall, my fingers numb to the point of freezing from the rain. Everyone is weary and injured and exhausted. No matter how many we've killed, the swarm is unrelenting. I wish I had words to come from my soldiers in arms. Words fail, stuck in my throat. I cannot promise them that we will survive, that we will find victory. I cannot make them fight on a lie. Nor will I buy into it myself. As more and more of the monsters come march up the mountain path, I see the remnants of Lenin's regiment become overwhelmed, carried off, slaughtered. Bile rises in my throat, and I force myself to look away. They break past the line of defense, then heading for us once again. Spears raised, but our walls grow thinner with every attack. No longer able to stand shoulder to shoulder. I draw my blade as they come for us, and intend to defend the skyward until my last breath. People are relying on us in there. The cooks, workers, refugees, every member who cannot wield a weapon is a sitting duck inside the fortress if it falls to these monsters now. Mercer's axe slams into creature after creature, bloodied but tireless. His weapon grows with heat. A lighthouse in the dark night as he stands guard at the stairs to the fortress, letting none of them pass. His hound, his hound tears through one. His hound tears through ones that flee, snapping jaws closing around wings. He is our last line of defense. I cannot fail him. I hold my shield high as they dash themselves against me, clawing it out of my grip as I jam my blade into its eye. One wraps around my leg, pulling me to the ground. I kick everything I have to get it off me. We're overwhelmed. The screams of dying men ringing in my ears. The shields will not hold them off for long. I see Farron's. The flash of Farron's tail catches my eye as he slips through the cracks, his dagger spinning in his hand as he rushes out to strike. Before retreating, he gestures for me, and I frown, but break from the shield that feel walls they reform behind me. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work. Anything to give us time? He points up to higher on the cliff. I noticed the rocks there were unstable when you and I were surveying the grounds. Can you use your magic to pull them down? It's risky. We could hurt our own people. They're dying anyway. We can take out as many monsters as we can. He scales up the mountain, getting ready to push and break up as much of the ground as he can. I focus my magic, feeling the exhaustion of using it so much, pushing me to my limits. Beads of sweat trace down my forehead as I focus. It's heavy and I strain. Farron shoves a boulder with his shoulder, and I force myself to push through the fatigue. The cliffside comes tumbling down, heavy rocks cracking against the mountainside and sends careening down the path. Breathing hard, I try to catch my breath as I watch our mini avalanche clear through a swarm as they begin to fly out of the way. It's not enough to clear them all out, and the shield wall breaks as they charge to take out the remaining warriors. Now with a clear shot towards the fortress, the wave pushes through. I scramble down trying to put my blade into as many backs as I can, but it's a losing battle. A silver light fills the air suddenly. I see Zabi there. They plant their staff on the ground, eyes closed in the midst of a prayer. A glowing silver barrier of magic grows around the line as the monsters claw and tear at it. They are shaking with the exertion of keeping such a large shield up, and I know they won't be able to hold it for long. It's chaos. People being dragged off, stingers piercing deep into broken bodies. My body feels as though it could collapse right there, then and then. Right there and then. I see Lennon dispatching another, but even my tireless cousin looks exhausted. Lennon, it's over. We need to retreat and fortify the castle. No, we still have a chance! Her blade slices through another, but she's bleeding. I run over using my shield to shove one to the ground as she finishes it off. Hold still. My blade heats, the silver metal glowing hot. I press it against her abdomen as she bites back a scream of pain. But the wound seals, even as her clothes char. She grits her teeth, but it gives me a nod. We should join the reserve inside. Skyward can hold against the siege so long as none get entry. We don't know how long we can hold. We don't know if they're already gone inside. We've got to do something. And what do we do? I find myself calling out like I'm a little girl again, caught in the thicket of the night, darkness closing. Flash of red slices through the dark. I look to Lennon, but this fire is bigger than anything she could conjure, especially in the state she is in. Oh! What follows the bright white feather is attached to something small and cloaked. Idris? There's no way he can hear my voice, swallowed in his pandemonium, and yet they look over their shoulder, catching my eye. My mind can't make sense of it. They look like Idris, but this is an angel. No, a Nephilim. An angel to save me, be rescued by a mysterious savior. Nephilim. Dude, Idris is a Nephilim? Okay, that's cool. What lunacy is this? Screech follows, and it twists my chest and stomach. Whoosh! A bonfire-like heat hits us. My skin hits my skin, and the battlefield lights in a way that would be beautiful if it wasn't casting light on one wasp-like being after another. I, she, I shield my eyes from the light as the beasts are turned to coal. Their large bodies hiss and stink from the singe of their greater flames, falling into a charred heap. We're saved. Reach for my sword. Oh, what if I reach for my sword though? We're saved. It saved us. I'm not sure how or why, but right now it matters little. Angel or demon, they bought us time. We can make we can make sense of it all later. For now we've got an opportunity to save as many as we can. Air fills my lungs properly for the first time and this whole disaster began. A large ring of fire and two massive wings framed the prisoner, now looking at me. His eyes dig into mine, asking me a series of questions I can't answer. Who are you? I mouth, I mouth, throat drying out from the heat. Suddenly the raindrops are evaporating off of me. Petra, I thought you hadn't made it. Their voices strangled. Me neither. My speech isn't much better off. I seek out Len and exchanging a look. The question remains, what do we do? She rises to her feet, nodding once. Thanks for the save, Itty. I'm stunned by her recovery. The battle's not over. He raises a slow hand, pointing to the heart of the darkness. Crackling and hissing of the fire isn't enough to showcase the rest of the battlefield. The swarm has been severed. You'd best retreat while you can. We can't. Our men are still out there. Len looks across the battlefield, and many of the monsters are retreating with their prisoners or corpses. You have to check on someone. It might be your last chance. Go. Hurtling into the unknown, I avoid the fire Idris made, igniting one of my own to find my way. I need to find. Oh, oh, crap. Okay, so we actually get to pick Verona, Colette, or Dion. Oh, dude, really? You're gonna make me choose? You're gonna make me choose between the three. Man, I had to see how each of the three actually makes sense. Yeah, I gotta pick Colette. Honestly, I have to pick Colette. Like she, wait. I just realized they all wear capes over their left sides. Oh my god, it's literally Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's just Fire Emblem Three Houses. It it's just Claude, Edelgard, and who was the blue one again? Blue again, Dimitri. It's just Claude, Edelgard, and Dimitri. The that's what the colors are referencing, right? Like I feel like it's a reference to that, unintentionally, I'd say, but still. Three, 7, or 12. I think for now I'm gonna pick Colette. I'm gonna pick Colette for now. Actually, I could pick Verona because it makes more sense, but it's only when I'm limping out into the clearing that I realize how much of a mess I am. I can hardly summon the fire with the sheer amounts of Aegis provided. Now I rely on the lighting as a light source. Colette! I continue to call, my throat shredding to pieces. Colette, please let her be okay, please. Fighting every intrusive thought of her being carried away, it wouldn't take much, no. There's a shriek. I know it's her. My gut is confirmation. I can never mistake it for anyone else. Lennon! My name is followed up by her scream that follow. I catch a glimpse of her attempting to scramble away in the mud, pursued by a group of 4. How she's alive is a miracle, one that won't last. Each one armored, beastly, with their mandibles twitched in preparation for the next meal. I dash towards them, though not fast enough. One bug lunges for Colette, and I think it's over, but a fist wrapped around her bow, using it as a weapon, manages to stop the bug only for a moment. A moment is all I need. 2 attempts to grasp at her, only managing to catch her cape, which tears. The two, the two to the two to the rear don't even attempt to hold her in place or sedate her with their stingers. Fools, but it's a mistake I'm grateful for. Gathering what little magic I recovered, I strike them all with a well placed lightning bolt. Next, Colette, I retrieve her, hoisting her over my shoulder. Normally a simple task, but with my strength depleting in the rain, I feel my boots slipping. I stagger in the mud, fighting to catch my balance. I, I do so, barely. My heart beats at ears. The time to gather my breath is long gone. It's do or die. Lennon, are you? We're getting out of here. The words I managed to squeeze out for both our sakes. Droning, I flinch at the sound. They lunge. I just managed to dodge, stumbling now. If I drop Colette, it's over. You can't have her. If I could have shouted it at them, I would have. With sheer willpower, I managed to gain a little distance between us, though it doesn't take much for them to close the gap. I curse myself for not having to learn to fly, but I never expected them to make it easy. Chloe hugs against me, bracing herself for turbulence and preventing herself from being snatched away. Stay strong, my knight. At, le- at least that's what I think she says. I know it. I know we're close when I see someone for the ember remnants of Idris's rescue. Using my sword, I fling some of the remnants towards the two. Did it work? I think so. I hope so. It's clear she's scared to even believe it. Tell me we're close. I answered by tossing her in the direction of the two soldiers at the entrance. Lennon? Smiling in an attempt to reassure her, I feel myself lose vision at the last of my strength. I hear her cries for a moment before I hit the floor and lose consciousness. The next sensation I feel is a cold rag dragged against my forehead. I stir a little, and the rag slides off to fall at my neck. Two small hands grip one of my own, squeezing it for dear life. They strangle mine as my eyes flutter open. She's awake! Think. Never mind that. Oh, Lennon, tell me you're all right, please! My lady I cough. Okay, not in the best shape I've been in, but I'm alive. More importantly, Colette's okay, as magnificently beautiful as ever. I can't help but touch her cheek. Are you an angel? She chokes out a mixture of a laugh and a sob. She holds my hand in her cheek. She, we've only, we've only one that I know of, but never mind that. How do you feel? I hadn't given much thought. I've been worse. I'm simply relieved that you came out unscathed. My body, at least. There's no telling what it's done to my mind. A deep shudder escapes her, shaking her body. She's not alone. There's too much to unpack now. Suddenly, I wish I were back in my coma. Lennon. She seems to think better of it, shaking her head. What's the damage? I know before she can answer, her hiss gives it away. She closes her eyes to prevent the blood of tears. It's too awful. What of Petra? The others, Verona, Dion. I want to ask after everyone. More than that, I want to run into the hallway and see for myself. They're alive. Much of our inner circle is. But as for our men, her face scrunched up in grief. Too many lost their lives that night. I can hardly believe the sun rose again. How long have I... 3 days. We've been taking shifts. Petra, Verona, Dion, and myself. What of Mercer? Tell me he's okay. He's stuck with that dread he felt for all this time. It didn't go away even after the attack was long over. It's followed him like a dark cloud. He's traveled across the battlements to locate the source. My mind flashes back to the battlefield, the destruction, the horror of war. Lennon, that's enough. You can't worry. You're supposed to be resting. No, Colette. I'm to be the Grand Commander. She initially stunned, but it takes little time for her to understand. You need to tell me everything, otherwise I'll seek the answers out myself. No, you fool! You'll reopen your wounds! Once I've settled down, she folds her hands onto her lap and thinks about how best to tell me. The battle ended shortly after you rescued me. That's when I blacked out. What came of Idris? Bruna spoke with him. He's been out of captivity all this time, but he won't leave. It's odd. He just hangs around. I think he wants to help. They've taken a special interest in your cousin. Petra? As if I had any other cousin here. Why? Rather, what kind of interest? I suspected he fancied her, but that's much too simple, isn't it? There's more to it. He's fond of her. There's definitely more to it. That's most likely a part of it, but I don't think that's all there is. We should keep a close eye on Idris. His motives aren't clear, and it could prove bad for us, especially if he was behind the invasion. You think so? She doesn't seem to think so. The surprise is evident. I wouldn't rule anyone out. He did rescue us, whether that was because he cared for us as we do each other or for his own gain, is to be left seen. She looks caught on something I said. Like we care for each other? Yes, the Skyward. We all look out for each other. Oh yes, my apologies. I haven't gotten much sleep. Ignore me. I touch her hand. There's no one here I care for the way I do you. Her face is gloriously pink. If Idris really wanted to help, even if he had ulterior motives, what did it matter? He's why Colette is alive to tell the tale at all. I care for you as well, more than the entirety of Skyward. I actually came back for you. Well, can't give you all the credit. I had I had many motivations to come back. But you were a factor in my decision. Qu- quite a large one, in fact. I must look like some fish out of water. My lady, I told you once before, we're friends. You don't need the pleasantries. Aren't we to be more? You intend to court me? Well, of course. Met her mark, romance Colette. Oh, we got it, fellas. Honestly, I kind of makes sense. They do look cute together. In that case, I'll happily accept my lady. I wanted nothing more than to kiss her. It would have been enough for me to heal from the inside, but it was indecent in every sense of the time being. The healer arrived with Petra, Verona, and Dion at their heels. The infirmary was filled to the brim with a new air, one easier to breathe. It was the first sigh of relief we had in many days. Grit my sword as I watched Lennon take off. I have no other choice but to pray for a safe return. Lennon is no ordinary soldier. She will live. She has to. We need to retreat while we can, helping those who are left and are wounded. I can't settle until we're inside and I can speak to. Oh, oh. So now we choose Petra. So wait, 1, 2, or 21. Odd number, but okay. Honestly, I believe Petra would want to speak to Idris. I feel like that makes sense. Idris, Petra. My name sounded weird coming from them, not in some divine sense, but in an all too human way. Like it was unfamiliar, awkward even. Get inside. I'll deal with the bulk of the horde. Then I'll come find you. We can't exactly speak privately now, can we? I swallow, nodding. I'll explain everything in time. It felt like a promise, one that I didn't feel I was owed. You'll explain to Verona? Lennon? Not until I've spoken with you. Why me? I couldn't ask with words, and even if I had, he flew off a moment later. This They are so bizarre. At, at least now it makes a little more sense, though that thought wasn't all that comforting. I'd done as they told me, bringing as many to the fortress as I could over the next hour. Eventually, I caught word Lennon managed to come back alive, even if she'd taken quite a beating to do so. I expected no less. Whether whether she was the whole or in pieces, I thanked every single star she was all right. I got unlucky this time, but I knew I had many hadn't, and I vowed to gather the names of each member of the fallen, hoping they now slept among the stars. This shouldn't have happened. If the mole existed and they were in some way responsible, then I vowed of every fallen soldier that they'd fall by my hand. Idris would be the number one suspect, though something in me knew that wasn't true. He saved us. Why? I couldn't make sense of it, but the truth remained. I needed to speak with him sooner rather than later. Every thought was caught in a whirlwind of my mind. I, as I was patched up, all ideas and theories stopped and scattered out in directions to the sound of my name was in the doorway. Ronan's voice. Yes, sir? It's the prisoner. Well, Idris. Hmm. I, I noted what she wasn't calling him. The, the healer left the room as soon as Verona entered, correctly assessing that this was a discussion not meant for their ears. What did he say? Little. He asked to speak with you. He won't speak with me until then. That was the arrangement we made. Says matter of factly, I I can't be sure if she's truly unbothered or secretly frustrated. If I if I if I were her, I know I would be. What is that bird brain fool thinking? This makes me look. He's on the ramparts. Once you spoke it, you both report back to me immediately. Yes, sir, I swear it. I trust you, Petra. It it should bring me comfort, but it doesn't. Eventually I spot him staring into the early morning light. What could you possibly require of me? Why won't you speak to the Grand Commander? I intend to, once we've spoken. What's the reason? What what can I tell you that my superior can't? It has nothing to do with Skyward. How could it not? Do you understand how this makes me look? Like I'm sneaking off with you. It puts a target on my back. It's only a conversation with who we perceive as the enemy. I'm even more irritated now. I shouldn't have said that shit. Do you believe I'm your enemy? What kind of question is that? It matters not what I think, it's the consensus. Are you not? I'm not. And I'm just to believe that? No questions asked? It's why if I it's why I asked if you believed in I am your enemy. Oh. Wait. Oh shit, I didn't save before that. I'll probably go back and save before the choice of the person. I don't know what to believe. I honestly don't know what to believe. Those words are wiser than they imply. What does it matter if I believe or not? It matters to me. He's staring into me now, intimidating yet equally as beautiful, much as they always spoken of Nephilim. There there was no doubt about that. I could keep asking why, but I've played this game before. It I was only going to learn what I wanted with questions. How did you escape your cell? It wasn't much of an escape. I could have chosen to leave whenever I wished. Why didn't you? I've never met a human like you before. I was interested to learn more. Why play prisoner? Because you deemed me one, as well as your Skyward. But you're out now. We could throw you back, though. We could throw you back, though, of course, it's not like you'd go all that easily. We couldn't contain you. I'd rather we not be on opposing sides. As soon as I heard the fighting, I couldn't sit by idly and let the lot of you be slaughtered. You saved us on a whim? I enjoy our discussions. It wouldn't serve me if the first human I viewed as more than a pest was killed so easily. We're not pests. You're not. None of us. The pests were those bugs you fought, mindless heathens whose only goal was to inflict harm. As if you're one to speak. I know not what you are. A Nephilim. Yes, a Nephilim. The same ones that ones told to have killed the human goddess Elir. Or am I wrong there as well? You aren't. But it what? But wasn't it humans who defeated and drove the Nephilim away? That is true. I didn't mean to imply your kind has no merit. Only that I find their drone the same. As if you're one to talk. You find me a bother? Suddenly I feel guilty. No, I don't know what to make of you. Then we're one then we're the same once again. You understand what it is I feel? I want to know why you're different. I intend to stay until I've satisfied my curiosity. then you have to satisfy ours. A self-proclaimed Nephilim sneaks into our library in search of forbidden tomes, fakes being a prisoner, then saves us on a whim. Can you blame me for thinking you stand against us? I blame no one. My behavior is my own. It's unfamiliar because you're human. But you'll find applying human customs to a Nephilim pointless. But I'm telling you what I intend. Now you are. But before, how much was that even true? Being an orphan, living in Solaris? He goes quiet then. Got him. Fair point. But surely you understand I couldn't tell you what I was. We're, we're in Elir territory. I'd be hung before the day was out. We wouldn't have done that. Wouldn't you? I wonder how what Illyrian priestess thinks of me. They wouldn't hurt you. We're working to understand you. That's all the Skyward wants. Understanding how the world works. And it's clear we've a lot yet to learn. He nods, as do you. Now he looks confused. I wager you think you know more than us lowly humans. He doesn't agree, nor do they disagree. That's what I mean. I can't put into words. Tell me, how many humans have you spoken to? Few. Then my point stands. If you helped us, you'll learn more than you can read in an entire library. Burning Desire, Romance Idris. I I like to see that you're right, dear Petra. The mornings are hard. I lie in bed for much too long, recounting the dreams and memories of what's occurred, and, and have to find it within myself to keep pressing on. Okay, I know we're probably reaching the end. I'm not sure how much longer this visual novel is, but I'm gonna leave the video right here for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.